good to go. Okay. It's fine.
I'll do it like this. Like this, we can actually see the screen. Then we know what's on the screen.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Yeah, I think you hear us.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Perfect.
good.
Okay, so upcoming topic is very interesting because are AI agents really removing us? The death of human middlemen. We have two speakers, Niamh Aughney, I hope that I'm pronouncing it correctly, and Frank Poncelet.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, you go
I'll
first.
go first. So what we're talking about today, obviously AI is trending right now, but this is something that we're going to be talking, not a typical talk. So I'm a marketeer. Frank is a developer. So we have our own different mindsets and own different insights on AI. A little bit about me, I'm IrishNFTGal on Twitter. I work for Super Team Ireland, which is a Solana-based community. We run hackathons weekly, monthly, and we have events every single week. And my second client is Kudo Compute. It's an AI factory based globally. It's basically, we educate people on data centers, so really large scale tech companies, and why they should actually have their own data centers instead of spending a lot of money on compute elsewhere using other people's AI. A little bit about me, I recently joined, or not recently, I've been 6+ years in blockchain, working for marketing for mainly protocols. I've worked for marketplaces, and I joined originally as an artist, as a full-time artist back in 2021. So this is how I know Frank.
Yeah. Okay, and then a little bit about me. So I'm Poncelet Frank. Yeah, I work for Kronos, which is the largest incubator/integrator in Belgium. We're like 10,000 people, 600 companies, something like that. And under that, I run the Hyperlabs brand, which is our Web3 brand. And indeed, I did get to know Niamh in 2021 on a Discord where we both were grinding to get an invite to be a foundation.
Such nerds, we met each other on Discord.
Yes. That was fun. Foundation doesn't exist anymore, we're still here. I started a little bit older than Niamh, so I started a little bit earlier. So I was mining Bitcoin in 2010. Left the scene, came back with Ethereum, left the scene, and then finally came back in 21, still here. And I mainly work for financial institutions, so no tomatoes, please. But I'm an advisor to the large banks in Belgium on how they need to handle crypto. Okay.
So Frank is going to talk about the kind of traditional ways and financial ways as well of AI, and I'm going to talk about like the practical solutions, like why people are using AI. So this screen, this is our punks. I'm on the left-hand side, and I'm talking about how it is replacing us without us even being fully aware of it. I think most people nowadays don't understand AI. Frank, you're a developer. Can you say comfortably 100% you understand AI and like the tech behind it and what we're actually doing?
No, I'm always amazed that it actually just works.
Exactly, you don't care, and that's the problem.
Yeah, we don't care, that's true. We just use it. And that's why I basically, Niamh is saying they're replacing us. She's the skeptic here. I'm saying, no, they're not replacing us, they're enhancing us.
Mm-hmm. I am a curious, just go back to the other slide. I am a very curious person. I like to ask questions. I don't like to just accept things. And I feel like today we are just accepting that, I'm not saying AI is a bad thing, but I'm saying we're not really understanding as to what we're actually doing with it in terms of like our identity, what we like value things nowadays, how we actually value what we're creating. We're all content creators, whether you're a developer, whether you're a marketeer. It doesn't matter, whatever you're doing in crypto today or blockchain in general. I think we just need to like step back a little bit and actually fully understand what we're doing with it.
Maybe do a quick crowd check. So who's a developer here? About half the room-ish?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's a marketeer, maybe? Okay.
Yes, we got one.
Okay, good. Next slide. That's your slide.
So, like, there's been so much news lately in the bad media about AI, like Anthropic recently. I was only in the past week. I didn't even get time to update the slides because AI moves so fast. But this was a tweet that I made on the Super Team Ireland's account about Facebook. I actually used to work for Facebook, so this is why I tweeted it, that they cut 350 jobs in Ireland recently. I know so many friends from Facebook, Accenture, where I used to work, and they're literally like terrified of AI because they've already lost their jobs. It's happened to me already, but I do believe right now, because we're able to create and use like vibe coding, more and more like jobs are being created, but people don't know how to sell. We can make a business in like 24 hours. So I think even marketing is going to become more important. It's not going to become less important today. I have had so many like job offers recently since AI has come up, but honestly I was terrified of it. Even though I do like to specialize in AI marketing, I just have to like kind of educate people a little bit more because we're not really fully understanding it. Even you as a developer, you can say that it does still terrify you. Frank like doesn't care because he's going to retire soon. But for young developers nowadays, like in your company, you wouldn't like to be in their shoes.
It is a problem. In our company, we hire people straight from school, college. That's what we do. That's how we did grow to 10,000 people. And what we see now is, we give all the seniors, we give them a whole set of agents that they work with. And they don't need these juniors anymore. They just talk to their agents. But how does somebody who comes straight from school then will actually get to become a senior? Because in my company, we say there are basically 8 levels of maturity of using AI. And I assume here, I'm going to do a check hands, everybody here in the room is level 1. Level 1 is I ask a question to ChatGPT. Everybody did that? You guys don't? Oh my God. Yeah. And I'm not going to explain all the levels, but level 8 is you just give it an idea, and the AI runs away with the idea. It spawns up a whole set of other agents. It builds it for you. The next morning you wake up, and the product is there, and it is completely deployed.
You're level 8.
Personally, I don't believe that we can actually achieve level 8 at this moment. I think we're at level 7 for those that are really advanced.
Are you still level 8? You still believe he believes he's level 8, or?
Yeah?
Okay,
yeah.
You come up on stage now.
Yeah, but the level 7 is it keeps the human in the loop. It is very similar to the level 8, but it's not completely autonomous. So you're still controlling it, you're still checking it. And personally, I don't think the AIs that we have right now are already smart enough to go to level 8. They still make too many mistakes. And so there's still this human in the loop effect that we need there. And yeah, maybe indeed in 3-4 years we don't need that anymore and we can go to that level 8. But right now we still need these seniors that actually control that AI, that tell them what to do.
And I think with AI we're losing that kind of value behind it, and because, and again, anyone can nearly become a developer, and Frank will probably disagree and say, well, they're not a good developer. We're not going to have great developers, and that's the problem. We're going to have basic developers that are studying right now. If they're already using AI from even primary school, I have lecturers here from primary, secondary school in Ireland, and they are teaching everyone AI. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying maybe we shouldn't start it so early for like young children, because we're not going to have that like high level of developers in the future. Like Frank can educate and pass on your knowledge, but why would they when they have AI?
Yeah, that's basically the problem. So how do we get these young people now to become actually a senior developer who can work? Because what we say in our company is the way a developer in the old days could be a super introvert guy sitting behind his computer and just toggling away and building this application. This will change with AI, because now he will become the interface of the AI. He will talk with the client or whoever had the brilliant idea, and he will tell the AI how to build it. So the way of working for developers will actually change. So they will have to come out of this room where they're at their basement where they're working and actually go talk to people and what you want, how you want to build. And they still have this knowledge on how to build an enterprise-grade application. So, and that is this problem with the younger people. How are they going to get that knowledge on how to make an enterprise-grade? And indeed, maybe in 3-4 years, we don't even need that anymore. The AI will know it too. But right now, I'm really convinced that it doesn't.
But it is very true. Humans are the bottleneck. So, like, I do believe that, yeah, we have, like I spoke earlier about, like, we're losing a lot of jobs because of AI. Yes, it is creating more jobs. Like, a lot of our, in Super Team Ireland, we have a lot of members that actually, full-time, their job is an auditor. They actually, like, audit the AI code, right? Because AI makes mistakes. Why? Because humans make mistakes, and it's based off our knowledge. That's the problem, right? So we can't rely 100% on AI right now. Yeah, in 5 years, we probably can, but right now we can't. So we have to be mindful and still use our own judgment. And I think a lot of people are not doing that. Just simple, like even like little reviews. We're letting AI do that for us, and we shouldn't. We should be still using our own brains.
I fully agree with that.
Okay, we agree on something. That's good. So this is something actually that Frank took a photo of. He's a bit of an artist. He's a developer, but like / artist. He's a unique one. This is why we get along. Life of an AI artist, prompt, tweet, sleep, repeat. Something I probably like say when I go to sleep, and I dream this. So AI doesn't just replace work; it replaces our identity. We do lose a little bit about like our value. Like what we actually, like our personal identity, what we create. I still like to create with my hands, as I do like to talk with my hands. It's a part of you. It's a part of your personality. AI cannot replace your personality. And as a marketeer, I do use AI every single day. I love it. But it is absolutely terrible for humor. It can't replace my personality. In Ireland, like it's a huge part of our culture is to like not take things seriously and to really like be truthful to like who you are, right? AI can't do that right now, and I don't believe it will ever, but I could be mistaken. So yeah, this is the identity part AI can't replace. Therefore, I feel like I will always have a job as an AI marketing expert, let's say, in the future.
I will check about that in 4 or 5 years. Because my thesis more is clients, they don't care. They have a problem, they want to have that problem solved. We were talking about that earlier on today. I had a client and they needed an application built. We looked at it, and we looked at it the old-fashioned way. And we said, okay, it's going to cost you 25 man days to build it. And looking a little bit further, the project was shelved a little bit, and at a certain moment said, oh, now we need to build this. And myself and another engineer, we said, okay, let's do this, and let's do this with Claude. And we built it in 3 days. So we just got a lot more efficient. And yeah, we built the client for 25 man days. But he was happy. He had his application. You know, the application was there. It was on time. It worked. You know, they didn't care how we did build it, that we used AI or not.
But did they care how much you build them for? The thing is, we are still billing, right? Our business model is changing because of AI, and therefore we're probably charging the same. We actually probably should be charging them more now with AI because it costs us a lot of money, and if it's taken you less amount of time, but it could cost you more in the long run. Yeah, less hours humans spent doing the work, but more in terms of like spending for models.
Well,
we have to change
in this example, we were lucky because we were still in the drug dealer model, and that is what the AIs are doing to us. You know, all these companies, they gave us AI like for almost free or free. You know, everybody can use ChatGPT for free. Everybody can use Claude for free still now. If you start doing it professionally, you had to pay a little bit, but not too much. And that era, it stopped literally like 2 weeks ago. If you now are going to use AI professionally, you're going to pay for it. You know, you have to pay for the data centers of the company you work for. You have to pay for that energy. The drug dealer model is over. And so, yes, we have to find, and with us, we haven't found it yet. We're actually even thinking of giving our AIs a timesheet code so they can actually bill the client like that. Like, okay, we weren't just two guys building an application. No, we were two guys and 14 agents building an application. And that, yeah, you have to build that somehow to your client. So yes, our business model will change for sure.
If there's anyone here today that is like ex-accountant or like if you come from like the traditional finance sector, there's definitely like opportunities for you in AI in terms of like, because people don't know how to charge anymore. They really don't, they're lost. And with Frank, he charges probably the same. I'm not like 100% sure, right? You probably charge the same as before AI.
Yes, yeah.
That shouldn't be the case.
My rate doesn't really change, and that's a problem that we have right now. So how are we going to tell our clients, yeah, okay, my rate is like 1,000 euros a day, but yeah, I use these 14 agents, so you have to pay a few thousand more. Okay.
So what do you value more, your time or the cost it takes for you to actually build it, right?
Well, basically that was this slide. You know, we can build a lot more now, but we have to adjust the way that we bill our clients, the way that we talk with our clients. Our model is changing there.
Yeah, the model is changing without us even realize. If you go back to the slide, yeah, we're definitely asking the wrong question. I tweeted this recently. I don't think we're ready to give agents full control over our decisions just yet. Humans are still best, but for not much longer. So I don't know if any of you have seen this. There was a massive AI budget spent from Claude subscriptions. And for like a good while, we didn't know what company it was. They were like afraid to announce it publicly. But it was actually Uber fucked up. Uber spent 3.4 billion by accident, their agents spent. So who pays for that? At the end of the day, they're not going to get a refund of that money.
No, that's easy. Did you take an Uber here? Did you take a Bolt? Uber is more expensive. We're paying.
Uber is more expensive. We're all paying that because of this mistake. So blame AI agents.
Yeah, somebody has to pay for it. You know, somebody has to pay for the electricity. Somebody has to pay for the data centers. It's as simple as that. As I said, the era of the drug dealer is over. You know, the drug dealer model, it's over. We're billing people now. The clouds are billing us now, and yeah, we have to bill that to our clients.
Out of everyone here that has an AI subscription, or like, would you use it for free? Like, raise a hand, are you using like paid subscription? Yeah, most people. So we obviously value that it's given us better responses than the free version, and obviously it does. But I feel like we're not learning so much the difference of, if you're not a developer, you don't learn really the difference of what each model is bringing you. I spent so much time researching it because I wanted to learn myself, and I was just asking questions to Frank, and I was able to create my own app for a hackathon that helped for Colosseum recently. If you haven't heard of Colosseum, it's like one of the biggest hackathons in the world. And in Ireland this year, we got so many like new registrations because I was able to market it in a way I understood it because I also entered it. And I feel like AI agents is like most marketeers probably wouldn't be that hands-on. Therefore, the AI agent is learning the kind of bad mistakes and like bad. They're not learning like the best practices, basically.
Yeah, that was a fun project, basically. I was quite impressed on how far you got with just using agents. I did go in like once a day in the evening to see if there were any architectural mistake.
I basically broke everything, and he fixed it.
No, not really, but it was just more like, are there any architectural mistakes, stuff like that. I would fix that in the evening.
We should be breaking things to learn, right? You have to fail fast, and so many people are afraid to do that. Especially with AI, we're skipping that stage, and it's such an important stage of like your journey, and it's what we do in our actual real day-to-day lives. So why aren't we doing that in Web3?
Yeah, true. Oh, It's already our last slide. So the idea here is, at least it's my idea, it's AI is not replacing us. And many influencers and so on, they give us this impression, and I don't believe in it. But I think we will have to adapt our business models and the way we work, especially people that work in technology, because we will work together with AI. And I'll go back in time here because I love this example. I was working for ING at that moment, and I'm talking about 15, maybe 20 years ago, something like that. And I read a study about Microsoft, and that study said, if you give a developer a second screen, he will actually be 17% more productive. And I think with AI, it will be the same. The number will probably be higher, but if you give a developer an AI, he will be more productive. He will get to his result faster. But to go back to my original story, is of course, yeah, ING, it's like a huge company. It's a bank, so it's a very rigid thing. It doesn't move very fast. And yeah, I suddenly needed like 200 extra screens. That was nowhere in the budgets. And so I got a lot of complaints from the infra guys, like, why the fuck do you need 200 screens? But I was okay. I was able to manage that. And then at a certain moment, I got a call, and I didn't see that one coming at all. Who did I get a call from? From the unions. Because they also did read that paper, because I had to motivate the 200 screens. And they said to me, Frank, what are you doing? Are you going to fire 17% of the people? And we see this happening right now with AI too. You know, a lot of companies are laying off. Now, my answer was, literally, I thought, no, I'm not going to fire these people. They're just going to work harder, you know, more efficient. Not really harder, but more efficient. They will create more code so the bank can make more profit. So I'm not going to fire them. That was the answer that the unions wanted to hear. But it is something that we have seen now in this AI area, that some companies indeed are laying off people. But I think they will regret it soon.
I think so too. I think there's going to be a jump between saving profits, but again, that's because they're not changing their business model. They're keeping the business model the same, charging the same, and laying off people. They shouldn't be doing that at all. I think more people need to listen to our talk. I think people need to listen to Frank and myself more, because it's the larger companies that think that they're like losing profits because of AI, and they're actually not. And this is probably like the closing thought that we do agree on, that there's so many opportunities in AI, but we're not like taking advantage of the transition that's happening. We're just accepting AI without fully understanding like what's really changing in your day-to-day life.
Okay, with these smart words, any questions?
We're finished.
Any questions? No? Maybe I have a question. Oh, you have a question? No?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to ask you, because you mentioned that the job market is actually changing based on the AI, of course. And you mentioned that you are now AI expert in marketing, right?
Yeah, I do use it every single day, and most of my clients are like, I have AI factory that I work with, Kudo Compute, which is like massive in the UK, in the United Kingdom, so I have to adapt to it, but it's something I do use anyway as an artist. It's something I've been using for years, so I like to say I understand it, but I will put my hands up and say I don't. If Frank is a developer and says he doesn't understand yet.
So you think that each and every position should be like focusing to become an AI expert in their field, or should, because like lately I was checking the Web3 market, like what is the open position and etc. And I saw many roles like content, comms, a product manager, all in one, which feels that this one person is actually doing like job for 5 people, but thanks to AI.
Yes, but he will have 10 agents helping him. Yeah. He's doing the job of 5 people, but he'll have 10 agents helping him.
Do you think is the way, actually,
I think it's not an AI problem. I think that's a marketing problem. So all of my clients, well, not all of my clients, but when I first joined Web3, I was the graphic designer, the video editor, the content creator. I don't do that anymore because I understand like what my talents are, and I can work around it. Obviously, AI helps, but we're still seeing like humans are best. So I still recommend to say I'm not skilled in this. That's like not what I was hired for. You can use AI, but honestly, humans are best. So hire someone instead, right? That would be my.
Yeah, but I agree. Yeah, I'd say one person can easily control 5, 6 agents, and those 5, 6 agents, they will have specific skills. You know, something like video editing, that can easily be done.
Teach them the skills, right? You need to like know the skills to
Yes.
actually teach
Yes.
the AI.
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you for the talk. Really good, really interesting. You guys were mentioning that you're also in contact with some primary schools that are teaching kids about AI. And you, Frank, were asking the question about how we educate engineers at a university level to be good, still senior engineers or senior developers, right? I see it at the primary level as just another new level of abstraction that generation is going to have over whatever they do, because the argument or the parallel for me is just Go or C++, right? So what is your current assessment of what is now happening in universities around teaching how AI works in depth, right, or in detail?
Yeah, I can go first.
Yeah, go.
I would be apprehensive about teaching it in like primary schools. College, yes, fine. Secondary school, probably okay. But primary school, I'd be so apprehensive because like young people today, like a lot of my friends have kids, and they don't even post like their kid's face on social media. But yet we're training the AI on their face. So there's like a really big gray area there that we're kind of skipping. I love when people have like their own privacy, but anyone can take, like if anyone here took a photograph today, right, you can straight away give it to the AI without my permission, without Frank's permission. And that's a problem. Like in the future, that is a huge, it's going to be so like, it's going to be like IP related issues everywhere, especially when people like start off in a job and maybe they get promoted and then become the CEO, right? Without your permission, that's why I wouldn't be teaching and using like, it's more the photography and more the visual is where I would see the issue with teaching them. The actual tools itself and the education, you can still teach them without using it, in my opinion.
Yeah, but if I'll go back to the question. If I looked at the universities, so the guys that are coming out there, indeed, they did learn 1 or 2 programming languages. Right? In Belgium, the standard is 2. And yeah, another thesis there of mine is we don't need programming languages anymore. The programming language will just be English. By the way, tip for all the AI users here. Did you know that if you type a question in English, you will use less tokens than if you type your question in your native language? Interesting. But the programming language will just become English. So the programming languages are going away. But that is not what I miss from the universities. What I miss, and yeah, you can only learn it by doing it, I think, is how to make an enterprise-grade application. You know, they create small applications in university, but they don't work in a large team. They don't have, Software and system architecture. Yes, and you learn that by doing it from the older guys you work with. You know, you usually have one senior engineer who controls the team, say, oh, you do that, you do that, you do that. But if we now give all that to agents, how these young guys are still going to learn that? That's a little bit my problem.
I hope that answered your question.
A little bit.
Yeah, we had
bit.
2 different.
No problem. I think we have room for one more. But
you can hear? Yeah. So I think this is more of a philosophical question. If you have thought about what this is going to look like in the future from a societal level. So now we are not replaced yet, but we will have more and more time for ourselves, and we will also be able to do a lot of different jobs. Like you said, I could be a developer in 10 years if I put myself into learning how to use AI. So that specialties that each one of us has is kind of going to disappear. So what are we actually going to be doing with our time? What have you thought about this?
Well, now we come back, I think, to my answer. Are you going to lay off the 17% of people? We're not going to lay him off. We're going to have you work more efficiently. You will be able to just do more. I don't believe the Elon Musk theory where he says, okay, nobody here has to work and we'll all get universal wealth and we just get food for free. I don't see that happening, and definitely not in the transition period that we are now. Yeah, we will have to work, but you will just work a lot more efficient.
I'm thinking more 10, 20 years. If we continue at this scale, we are...
Okay. I'm going to pull my umbrella there, and what she said, I'll be retired by that.
He doesn't care. I can give a bit of insight, but to be honest, I don't think that far in advance. Like 20 years is I would never think that far in advance. I think more in the scale of like 2 years' time, maybe 5 years' time. Like we did a talk recently about quantum, and that's in the next 5 years. 20 years, we have no idea.
Also, if you look back, ChatGPT, it was launched like what now, 3.5 years ago, something like that. And we developers, we were actually laughing with it because it couldn't even write a decent for loop. You know, it couldn't do decent math. Look where we're now. Now I can have it build parts of an application easy. So try to project that up another 3.5 years. Yes, maybe we'll reach that level 8. Trying to project this 20 years, I don't think we can foresee that future. I don't think it's realistic to try to predict that.
It's scary for younger
It's definitely scary for the younger people. Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Cheers, thank you. Well done.
We're done.